First, I would say buy my book because I think there's a whole chapter on how to appreciate, not appropriate. And that is that's a really beautiful guidance, I think, because I poured a lot into that. And I'd say there's a few things that I think, first I want to say I am not the police, like, the police of like whether you're appropriating, because I don't really know. Only Creator knows, or only your ancestors know what your practices are, what your intention is. The only way I can say is I can feel it in my body when I feel, and it feels like extraction. And extraction is so harmful because as an Indigenous body, it'll make me sick. Like it actually makes me sicker to be extracted from. So this isn't just like a mental thing where it's like you need to get over it or think something different. It's impacting Indigenous bodies. It's impacting Indigenous lives, like in really deep ways that maybe you don't see because you think it's innocent, or you think, oh, well, I can take all these things and use them for profit and it's not harming or hurting anybody. I'll tell you it is. So there's a couple of things. Learn the history of the lands that you're on, even know the people that have stewarded those lands. That's a really important first step. Find out that if you're living on Turtle Island, find out the history of the Indigenous people there and what still continues to happen, the impact that's still, as I talked about before, the impact that's still happening in these communities that you might not see or hear about anymore, but as a result of that attempted genocide and erasure. Know that. Ask the medicines if you're meant to work with them, work from a spirit level. They'll tell you how much to use. They'll tell you how to honor them. They'll tell you how to respect them and treat them with care. Give back to Indigenous communities. Like I speak about this so much and people ask, well, how can we do that? And sometimes I'm like, I'm right here. You can buy my book. You can buy my cards. You can gift them to people. Like that ultimately helps Indigenous communities because you are, that flows forward from me to all of the communities in need, right? So those things are really important. Uplift Indigenous creators. If you are using a lot of Indigenous teachings, who can you uplift? Who's not being seen? And I've been in business for 21 years. I have hustled so hard to get where I'm at. And I can say and see, like, it's a real life lived experience that an Indigenous voice will not be heard and seen as much as a non-Indigenous voice or a white woman in the spiritual space. That is the reality. So can you see that? And then what can you do about it? So those would be some of the things that I would share. But yes, go back to your own lineage, learn the practices there. And it takes a little bit of work. Like it's not easy, right? People are like, but I don't know. Well, you can find out. I trust that you can find out instead of grasping at or extracting somebody else's culture. Go within. So yeah, thanks for that question.